Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for my client Michelle's vlog. And let's get right into what we're doing with her programming, because we are now preparing for bikini, not just powerlifting. Her programming is actually pretty straightforward. What we do, we start every workout with a training max. Since we do a 4-day upper-lower split, which it tends to be my baseline for anyone, I like that as a starting template. And we deviate only when necessary, because for most people that will pretty much give us a good template to work off of. Frequencies, volumes, and everything can be adjusted, and it's just a template that I prefer to use as a coach. Doesn't mean that it's exclusively what we use, but it's very easy for me to program because I have a lot of experience using it for a wide variety of athletes. So for the 2 upper days, we just started off with a bench press, right? We do a training max on the bench press, and it's a little bit over 90% of her max. And then on the other 2 days, we do a squat on one of the lower days, and we do a deadlift on the other. Okay, so very straightforward. And again, those are training maxes. They're not intended to be crazy heavy. They're just heavy enough for us to get carryover to a max later in competition. We're training the technique. For a heavy lift, we're practicing a good heavy single, but it's going just heavy enough to make sure that we do get the highest threshold muscle fibers on that single rep. All right, so for other work, what we do after that, everything is supersetted on the upper day, with some of the lower days being done as trisets. But after the training maxes, we do not do any normal just straight sets of one exercise. Everything is done as a superset. So most of the upper body, it's opposing muscle groups. You saw us do bench press there, followed by pull-ups. Everything that we're doing is 10 plus reps, right? Everything is 10 or more reps. Some of the stuff is obviously a bit higher, but so that people have an idea of what we're doing, and it's all training maxes and hypertrophy work. So that first superset you just saw was bench press followed by a set of pull-ups, bench press followed by a set of pull-ups, and so on. And we do 3 sets of each of the exercises for her. And yes, this is a very, very high amount of training volume. So the second superset that we then do is an incline bench followed by a 1-arm dumbbell row. And because of the length of time it takes to complete these, there should be almost no break in between, because we do incline, and then the 1-arm dumbbell rows take a little bit per arm. We don't need much rest before she goes back and does the same thing. So again, the same thing, we do this for 3 supersets. Just like we did bench and pull up, and then we do incline and 1-arm dumbbell rows. Now this covers most of her upper body, because these 4 lifts, we have a flat bench, an incline bench, we have a horizontal pull, and a vertical pull. All right, for the next superset then, again, we're putting a lot of effort into her delts. So even though we're doing all of that pushing and pulling in terms of more direct delt work, we do 12 sets a week, right? Because we do it on both days. And again, because delts and calves need to come up tremendously for her, as she wants to go into bikini, we need to bring those up considerably. So for the next superset, we do a nice wide grip upright row, like you see here, and then she does dumbbell tricep extensions afterward. And again, keeping in mind these are done as a superset, right? So she does the upright rows and she does the extensions. Okay, so again, this is done back to back. And again, with relatively high reps. Now, the idea with a lot of this, yes, this is very, fairly significant amount of metabolic type training. It will have a conditioning component. But again, we're trying to maximize body composition with this. We're trying to maximize muscle mass. And again, for people who are like, but it's all 10 plus and they're supersets, is it heavy enough? But we've already done training maxes first. And I do want to be clear there in terms of the strength element. The training maxes handle a very significant portion of that. And sometimes we'll want a little more of that before we step onto a powerlifting meet, but we're months out from doing another meet. We just did her first meet of the year. We're probably only going to do about 2 meets a year. So, we're going to have several months to where we're not worried at all about peaking for powerlifting. And those single training maxes are enough to do that. Plus, there again, they change the nature of the workouts, right? So the next superset, again, so we end up doing 4 different 2 exercise supersets. The final one that I have her do here is lateral raises, followed by dumbbell curls. So she does standing dumbbell curls as a superset for these. So again, we definitely have some bicep and tricep work thrown in here, but most of the majority of the other exercises outside of the pushing and pulling is a little bit geared towards her delts and shoulders. All right, but keeping in mind, we do have direct arm work, we do have direct delt work. Now, for people who are like, why aren't you doing any more single joint type stuff for the back or the chest? Because we're doing two different types, we're okay. All right, so if we were only doing one sort of pull, I might throw a pullover or something in here, so that we work chest also. Kind of like you guys see me do right now. Average workout for me for those chest and back is, to do bench press and then weighted pull-ups, and then I do pullovers, which works those also. In her case, we're taking a little more direct route with some of that. So I just have her do two different angles of pushing and pulling. So that effectively covers her pecs and lats. They're both getting 12 sets every week. Right? Which is enough to keep her growing. So again, her delts probably get the most volume of anything. But triceps and biceps are getting a significant amount too. All right, so we see here her doing the training max on the back squat, and then I have her supplemental work, and then I show her training max from the last day. I have that at the end on her deadlift, just so you guys see that she is in fact still deadlifting. All right, so what do lower body days look like? Once we do the training max, we go into all the real work. So we're doing leg presses, all right, with a just inside shoulder width stance. Again, trying to get these deep, trying to use it to develop her quads more. Obviously, it's a quad and glute exercise and adductor and everything else, but that is what we're trying to hit there. All right, we do these as a tri-set, right? So this is done pretty much round robin here. So we do a leg press, and then we do glute ham raises, and then we do a standing calf raise to finish it off. So essentially, her entire lower body gets trained in just one of these little circuits. And obviously, because she's doing glute ham raises, these are still fairly intense. This is actually quite a bit of work, because those are close to 10 rep limit sets for her. I want her within a rep or two of failure on those leg presses. So we do a leg press, and we do a glute ham raise to, barely 1 rep in reserve, and then she does a standing calf raise. And right now I'm letting her do these with dumbbells. We may go over to a machine or something later as she gets stronger, but right now she's able to get enough of a pump that we're doing them with the dumbbells. So she does these. And then after that, for the next set of exercises that we do, I have her do a tricep also. I don't know if we got the band pull-throughs in this, or I might have missed the footage when I went to download it. So she does a split squat. Now this week, because I have a little bit of an issue with one of her toes, she's like, can I skip the split squats and do, so I don't hurt my toe? Can I do a step up? And I'm like, yeah, so we'll do a step up this week. So she's doing, instead of the split squat this week, we are doing a dumbbell step up. All right, so she holds the dumbbells and steps up onto a tall box. So again, it's above parallel, right? We're definitely above parallel here. She does 10 reps on each leg, and then changes the leg after. So she does 10 reps on that one leg, and then we repeat it for the other. Again, this is also a great exercise, and again, just like with the other, this cuts down on our rest times a lot, because this takes quite a while to complete. So then she does this, then she does a band pull through, then a seated calf raise, and these are all done as a tri-set. So again, we're kind of training opposing muscle groups and then calves at the end of each one of these. And this is very time efficient. You can do an enormous amount of training volume in a short period of time for your lower body doing this. Because keeping in mind, this is a fair amount of volume, because this is 6 exercises done for 3 sets each after the training max. So it's a training max, and then again 18 work sets. So fairly significant there. But this can be done fairly quick because we are doing it as tri-sets. Right? So a workout like this takes less time than you would think. And then of course we also, on her next one, I show the training max from this week. Then we do for the second lower day, we do a deadlift in place of the squat, and then repeat the same thing. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.